on that medication, leave you medicated. This for mediation for all situations. West is at your station. I'm hot, stay blazing. Play this for your neighbor.
Listen up, we got a story to tell. Health is wealth. And we are here with Mr. Delcato. That's what I call him anyway, Mr. Delcato.
What's going on? Well, man, I'm just very, very impressed with your health improvements and your story. So, go ahead, tell your story.
Yeah, like I say, I mean, when I first got out of the hospital in December, I started making changes. So when I went to my checkup in February, I had started making changes, but they didn't fill my prescription because I hadn't been to the doctor. So I was just basically telling my doctor that I hadn't take any medication, like as far as diabetes, because I didn't have any, and like all my stuff was fine.
So let me ask you this. Okay, everything was fine. Let me ask you this. That's what you was battling. You was battling diabetes.
Diabetes and high blood pressure.
So high blood pressure comes with diabetes most of the time?
They can go off of each other. I mean, some people can have high blood pressure and not have diabetes, or vice versa.
Okay.
But I happen to have both.
Right. So, okay, you went to the doctor and, you told them you hadn't been taking nothing because they hadn't filled a prescription, but you was feeling fine, right?
Right. And all my stuff was feeling fine. And by this time, I had made the change.
How long had it been that you had changed before you had this doctor visit?
I got out the hospital December 21st. I started making the changes probably around the 23rd. Mm-hmm. And my doctor visit was February the 16th.
2 months.
Yeah, 2 months.
2 months. 2 months change. 2 months of change, and you already feeling better.
Right. In 2 months, I had lost.
How much did you weigh when you went in?
I was 243.
So in 2 months, you had went from 243 to
210.
Wow.
And
You went hard, nigga.
Yeah, and I was basically just telling them, like, it was halfway there, and I was telling them because my stuff was still a little on the high side then, but I was telling them that they was just seeing the beginning of the change. That when I came back in the next 3 months for my next 3 month checkup, that it'd be different. So fast forward till this month when I went, like, they really couldn't believe it. Like,
hold on. Before we fast forward, let's talk about the change. What did you do to make this change to go from 243 down to 210 and start feeling better about your blood pressure and your diabetes?
Just exercise and diet. I changed my diet for one. That was the first thing. I cut out all fast foods, all fried foods.
What about processed food?
Yeah, no processed food either. It's the trans fat and the processed food.
Everything natural.
Yeah, everything is natural.
As natural as we know it.
Right, as I can get it. Yeah, I was doing it myself or getting stuff that was organic.
Right. So in other words, you was breaking your own beans.
Right. Yeah, literally.
Breaking your own. Right. I do the same thing, bro. I don't even buy canned beans no more. I buy one and I break them myself.
Right.
Or I go to my daddy's garden, pick them and break them myself.
Because when I was looking into it, they was like, well, you can get these beans out the can and just rinse them off.
Right. Yeah, but
right.
It's still gonna be. It's probably still gonna be in there a little bit. It's done soaked. It's done soaked for so long. You don't think it's
right
soaking in,
It's no different than the sun soaking into your body standing out in the sun.
Right.
You know what I mean? How you think plants grow? They soak up the sun. You feel me though?
Mm-hmm.
So okay. So basically you go ahead. You started exercising and watching what you eat.
Right.
All right. So now we fast forwarding to the recent.
Yeah. May 16.
May 16. That was right around last week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now was it December, January, February, March,
3 months.
April, 4 months, 5 months.
No, it was for 5 months since the hospital. 3 months since my February checkup.
Okay. And how did the February checkup go?
Like I say, I had just started making the change, so it was still a little on the high end, but stuff was changing. Mm-hmm. My blood pressure was down, but it was still a little higher than normal. And the same thing with my diabetes. It was down, but it was still a little higher than normal.
Right.
But that was just the effects off of what it was.
So did they give you did they give you a prescription then?
Yeah, so then she took me off of insulin. And
At that moment.
At that moment. And she gave me some pills.
Okay.
And she was like, just take these until you come back.
So you was on the insulin stage.
Well, I was on insulin and pills. And she took the insulin and she told me just to take the pills. And I told her that I hadn't took anything. Mm-hmm. And, my stuff has been fine. And she was like, well, just do this and we'll see how it goes. So I was like, cool. But when I left, I still didn't take any.
So you didn't take none of it?
Nah, because I felt like, why am I taking it?
If I'm cool.
Right, if my stuff is coming out fine.
That just makes sense. That makes sense. So let me ask you this before you continue. How long had you been dealing with diabetes and high blood? Diabetes, let's say the diabetes.
Diabetes over 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah, I found out when I was 16.
20 years, folks. All right, go ahead.
And so I just continued to do what I was doing. So when I went back in May, it was just a complete turnaround.
Complete?
Yeah, complete.
How complete?
My blood pressure was normal. My diabetes was so normal that it was lower than pre-diabetic. It was non-diabetic.
Non-diabetic. And what they say?
Basically asked me what I was doing. I told her, and she told me that I was doing well enough that she could take me off all of my medication.
And she took you off all your medication?
Took me off all my diabetic medication, all the blood pressure medication.
Did they act like they couldn't believe it or something?
Yeah, that was they couldn't believe it.
How the freak can they?
When they was checking,
how you can't believe it?
When they checked my stuff, they checked it, and then it was like, well, it looked good, but we want to check and see what the long term was gonna be.
So what you mean?
So
check the long term.
Yeah, so they check one, and that's for the everyday, and then they got another one that they check that tells how it's been for the last 3 months. Because some people can get right just for that day. So that's why they do one for the tell the last 3 months.
But you were diligent enough not to even take the stuff for that whole time. So
right. So when they checked it and they saw that how it's been for those 3 months, that's why they just kept saying good job. Because I left out, no prescriptions. It took me off of everything. All because of changing my diet. And right now, I eat how I want to eat. And no medicine, no insulin, no pills.
I mean, by you doing what you did, I'm just talking now. I'm just talking. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But what I'm seeing is by you doing what you're doing, by taking the initiative to back off the stuff and monitor yourself and notice what's going on with yourself, there's no way they could lie to you.
Right.
There's no way they could, because even with those medicines, I'm sure when they check you, they can detect whether you've been taking the medicine or not.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So you think some people may get caught into the medicine so much they'll start eating better and doing better, but still taking the medicine. So now we can tell you anything.
Right.
Because we see you've been taking the medicine, so we can say
it's the medicine.
Yeah, it's the medicine.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
But you took it upon yourself to get off of the medicine, so the medicine's not in me, and I'm still feeling good. Right. So ain't no way you can tell me it's the medicine.
Right.
Ain't no way they can. So they ain't got no choice but to say, "Hey, good job."
Yeah.
Golly, wow, good job, and
yeah, that's all. You're
free. You're free to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's basically.
That's just my theory and my thought about the situation. You know, and you have to think. Critical thinking is very necessary. You got to think critical. You got to take the chance sometimes. You got to, put the drugs down, put it down and try something a little different and see how that work out for you.
The outcome.
Right. If you start feeling a little skittish, which you probably going to feel a little skittish. Did you feel a little skittish by getting off of it? Did it kind of,
No, I think the biggest difference was before, when my blood pressure was high, I couldn't tell. But now that I got it under control, I can actually tell when it goes up.
So did you wing yourself off, or you didn't cold turkey?
Nah, I cold turkey. When I got out the hospital, they had gave me pills, and I might have took them for 2 days. And I looked up the side effects because they was making me dizzy.
Wow.
And once I saw the side effects, like one of the pills caused memory loss and all that other stuff. And I was just like, because I actually was just going to rely on the pills. And just keep eating how I was eating and just take the pills. But the side effects were so bad, I was just like, nah, I can't take these. So I stopped taking them. It just changed it up.
Wow. That's a hell of a story, man. I'm happy for you. Proud to even be able to witness this, So
right.
Health is wealth, man.
Appreciate it.
Health is definitely wealth. Appreciate your story.
Oh yeah, anything to help.
This is another Muddy Water podcast or broadcast, and get your exercise, take care of yourself, monitor yourself. Ain't nothing really hard about it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
Have the willpower.
Right. I know we get addicted to things, besides drugs, like sugar. Which it could be a drug and we don't know. It performs like a drug. You know what I'm saying? So I understand we get addicted to things, but you gotta be more mindful. We have to be more mindful of our bodies. So, if anybody's out there trying to figure out a way to feel better, take this story right here. 20 years diabetic, and he fought his way through it and reversed the whole diabetes just by changing his lifestyle. Say to children, man.
I'm that medication, leave you medicated. This for mediation, for all situations. West is at your station, I'm hot, we stay blazing. Play this for your neighbor. Playing with money, sex, and weed, that's like triple ecstasy. Street doctor when I practice surgery. Blue veins, bleed red blood when they leak. Once you gon' mix a little bit of air with the quiche. Things took a lot of niggas.